what's the most common mistakes you see in studios or other yoga instructors that do, or even people that train yoga do, that you would name them to help one of our listeners just prevent doing these mistakes?
I would say the biggest mistake is that you go over your limits. For example, I like to use props like a yoga belt or the yoga block or some cushion to just sit on it, or use the blanket or so. And I try to tell all my students, use them whenever you feel it. Like, it's totally okay. For example, the yoga belt is like an extension of your arms. So when we say we grab our hands behind our back and interlace the fingers and strengthen the arms, a lot of people, when they have tight shoulders or are super trained in the chest muscles or shoulder muscles, they can lengthen their arms like that. Yeah. So when they use a yoga belt, they can open the arms, can lengthen the arms, and then they can work on the chest openers. And this is way more effective than push your body into this posture, and then maybe you hurt your elbow or your shoulder muscles. And that's a really common mistake. So use your yoga props and listen to the yoga instructor when they say, oh, maybe you should try to use this posture with a yoga belt. You feel better. And also a mistake I see from yoga teachers, when they push in the wrong way. That's a difficult
push too much
topic.
The people in the class.
I like to push people. I like to do hands-on adjustments, but also I am totally aware if I where I should push them. So if you are in a yoga class and a yoga teacher comes to you, tries to push you, and you feel that's not nice, tell it.
If it's too much, too painful.
Yeah, it's not in the wrong meaning. It's not you are not a badass in this moment. Just
but
tell
many
the yoga
people want to
teacher.
feel like the badass. Like, they don't only want to feel the badass, but they don't want to, sound as I'm complaining or I can't take it. And that sometimes is also the reason that creates injuries, even in other sports as well. But how someone who is not so body aware yet can tell the difference of, oh, that's the productive pain that they feel because of the stretch, and that's a little bit too much, so I should stop, or I should say something.
If it is like a pinchy pain,
Pinchy,
especially in the knee joint. Knee is super difficult, and also hips. When you feel, or lower back as well, when you feel a pinchy pain which should not be there, go out of this posture or use some materials for it. But yeah, it's difficult.
You can't tell sometimes.
You can't tell
if that helps you open up, or if that may hurt me.
I mean, for me as yoga teacher, I see when someone is on his limits. For example, if you stretch your hamstrings, you are on your back, you grab your feet with the yoga belt extension, and then you lengthening.
Always.
You're straightening your leg. And when people shaking in the leg, really heavy, then you see, oh yeah, they're on the limits. Then I go to them and say,
this has happened to me.
May don't push your leg that far. So you feel the stretch anyway.
Okay. So you should not shake too much.
Yeah.